Hello everyone, this is Jack the Hog Gamer, and today I thought I'd do a bit of a different video and show you what actually goes into the making of my videos, just so you can all see what goes into them, how they're made, and what I use to edit really. And I will be doing a separate series on Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe Photoshop on how to learn the basics and how to get started on them, just for anyone who wants to learn how to edit or make thumbnails really. So there'll be this video, the video what goes into making a video, and what goes into making a thumbnail one, which will come later. But yeah, so today I'm just going to show you what I do to make one of my basic videos, just the general gaming ones. So first of all, I go into my project called Steam Games. This is what I use for all my games. It's a preset project at 30 frames per second, 720p, all that stuff. So this is the previous video. I was editing Napoleon Land Battle, which isn't actually out yet. Actually, yeah, it should be. It's uploading right now. So I do Control A, delete that off the timeline, and then I'll delete this. The project's actually called KSP for Kerbal Space Program because I made this not the project, sorry, the sequence is called KSP because I made that when I was doing the Kerbal Space Program video. So I need to change that sometime soon or make a new sequence, but for now it doesn't matter. Right, so I will show you. All this will probably look confusing if you've never seen it before, but trust me, when I do my learning the basics of Premiere Pro, CS6, which is what this software is, by Adobe, then you'll learn all of this stuff, or at least the basics of it anyway. So let's get into this. Here I have my recording folder. They're raw recordings, just like silly things that will never be uploaded, like test records and stuff, you see, 2 seconds long, and these are just silly GTA moments for Matthew that they're only like 30 seconds long. But here we have the Napoleon Land Battle, which I rendered earlier, and here we have the Red Orchestra 2 match that I recorded earlier, which isn't uploaded yet, and you'll get to see me edit this, so you get sort of a sneak preview into my video. So if I open up this folder, you can see here we have the video and 2 audio files. So when it records from DxTory, which is this program down here, you get the video, and then you right click and you extract the audio stream, and you get your voice and the game sounds. So what I do then is I make it into a folder, just call it something that I can remember, like Red O2 Jack Plays, because it's me playing Red Orchestra 2, and I drag the folder into there, into the what is the source area for my file. No, this is the source. This is the place where you get all your files. I guess it would be a source, wouldn't it? But this is the video and audio source window. And then it's generating peak files, which I'm not actually sure what peak files are. Even after nearly a year of using this software, I still don't know what peak files are, but I usually just let them generate. Yeah, so I cut the video here because they can take a while and it's just boring to watch, and I will see you in a second and we'll get on with this. Okay, so they've all been generated, the peak files, and now you see this little drop down arrow for the video folder that I dragged in from here, and then I drag the video to this source window here, and I drag the video on its own. This is very important for separating the game and voice sound, and then I drag the ST1 audio, which is the game sound, and then ST0, which is my voice. So that's all in there. It's synced up because DxTory does it all in sync. There's no messing about with syncing them up together. It does it all for you in DxTory, which is my recording software. And then I use this tool here at the bottom to zoom in and out to find where I start. And I've got the audio waveform on my audio tracks. Don't worry if you have this program but don't know how to do that. I will cover it all in my Getting Started with Premiere Pro video. So now I just look for the bit where the main voice starts. These are just like failure bits. If I press play, right, I'm going 3. That's just like a countdown to when to record. And if I zoom along here, I have this 2, 1. There we go, another countdown, 3, 2, 1. That was like a failure countdown. I don't know what happened. And I'll drag along a bit more just to hear hello everyone, and then it starts. This is Jack. So if I go back with the arrow keys, just go back a frame at a time to there, and then zoom in, go back a little bit more, and I usually cut the video just a few frames before the audio starts. So here, press the C key on my keyboard. All this will be covered again in the getting started with this program, and then you cut the video here. I'll show you how to do that once again in the other videos, and I'll highlight it all, delete that because I don't want that. So then if I listen to it again, just make sure it's far enough forward or back where I've cut the video. Hello everyone! There we go. That gives me enough time. So I drag this back, and that little pause before the actual audio starts, just there, gives me enough time to put a film dissolve on. So I go to the effects thing here, type film, and this is what kind of fades the video in and out at the beginning and end of my video. So if I start now, you'll see here, hello everyone, it's in nicely, and it fades in while the audio is playing from the game, and then when that's faded in, my voice starts just about there. So halfway through the fade, my voice starts like this, and you'll see now, hello everyone, there we go. So that gives it quite a nice effect, so it's not just like a raw cut on. If you see now, it won't just start on YouTube like this. Hello, film dissolve, it'll just do that transition nicely on and nicely off at the end. So now we've got that sorted, I go to the audio mixer and make sure I've got all my audio levels right. So audio 1 is obviously the game sound, audio 2 is my voice, so I usually set that to about 3 or 4, because 0, sometimes over the game audio you can't hear it, and then I turn the game audio right the way down, because you could hear a minute ago, it's very loud, so I usually do minus 12.5 just to be safe. I don't know why I do minus 12.5, it just seems the right thing, but some other games like Kerbal Space Program, that's a really loud one, so I turn that down like minus 25. But yeah, so if I press play now, hello everyone, this is Jack, and you can hear my voice, but I think that's too quiet, so if I do minus 10 and see how that sounds, the Hog Gamer, and what sounds just about right really. Let's go here where all the action is. About 3 hours I've played. From what I've played, it's very, I might have to turn it down a little bit more because it is still quite loud, so we'll go back to minus 12.5, not 125, minus 12.5. Play from here. Very, very good. That sounds about right. So it takes a couple of tries to get it right. And yeah, that's about it for the audio side of things. And then obviously audio 3, or not obviously, but audio 3 I have at minus 12, and that's for the lower thirds that I will show you in a second. So now we have the video and audio on the track. What I like to do now is, I think I had a drink in this episode, so there's not really much editing that needs to be done for this. It was just one of those gaming videos a Jack plays. There's no really bits I need to cut out because it was all fine really. It's quite a long one, so sometimes I might cut bits out to shorten it, but today I'll just show you where I cut it out where I have a drink. So I think it was sometime along this bit, was it? Yes, it was, right here. I was waiting to respawn. Sorry. Oh! I get shot there. And it's here. And then I'll say here. Or here. Drink as well. So, yeah, let me just do this last thing. Oh, it's 15 seconds. Back in a sec, I need a drink. Right, so that's where I say I need a drink. So then I'll make sure there's no audio playing there. Right, so it's all cut off. Go back a tiny bit. Try and get it on the least waveform of the game sound so it doesn't make a pop. So just there will be fine, and then I cut it here, and then I press V to return to the normal cursor, zoom out again, and then play it, and depending on how long it is, you can hear me drinking there, behind the scenes action, and then drag it along until it starts, which I think is here. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Oh no, that's not a countdown, that's actually a 3, 2, 1 respawn counter, so I'll do it to there. 3, so just before I say 3, just to there, and where the game audio starts bumping up again, cut it here, zoom out, highlight that, and delete. I usually do it a lot faster when I'm not recording this, but I'm just showing you step by step how to do it. And then I'll highlight all of these, drag them back over here, so you've got a nice clean cut in the video here. In seconds, back in a sec, I need a drink. So that. But sometimes I like to dissolve it, so it's not just like I said at the beginning, where it doesn't just like slice on, it kind of fades. So I usually do a dip to black, that can be quite nice. Second is drink. So 3, like that. Or I sometimes like the additive dissolve. That's quite nice. So if I try that, in a sec I need a drink. 3 flashes. So I think for this one, dip to black will look best because it's a light background with what we're working with here. So a dip to black would look nice. 3 fade in and out nicely. Back to the video again. And I think in this video here, I was actually being a bit silly. I didn't realise that it was a respawn counter, but I didn't actually click ready. So I may cut the video. Oh, it's giving me. Are we not respawning now? I keep thinking the respawn counter resets and I can't respawn. So I go along here and I finally find out, that I'm just being stupid, not paying attention. Let's see. Should I just I usually try and find a suitable point to cut the video. So if we listen from here, it keeps resetting. Damn. I don't think there's actually. Keep watching just there. It's really a suitable point to cut that because it's either like, oh, I was being silly, and then they won't know what's going on, or sorry, you won't know what's going on. So I think I'll just leave it like that. That should be fine. Fading that to there. It'll just be a bit of waiting about, but that's fine. So then once all that's done, I go to the end here. My name is Jack. I'll go to my outro. Let this roll. Gamer. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. I'll let that roll, and then I'll cut the video here. I'll cut my voice audio off so you don't hear me tap the key when I end the video, and I'll let the game audio fade out like this. Right, so the audio kind of cuts off, so the first thing I'm going to do for the video is put another film dissolve on, so you can see here it'll fade off nicely like we had at the beginning. Next time. So there we go, that fades off, and then I'm just going to get a audio transition, go to crossfade and get exponential fade. Usually works for me. I think that's how you pronounce it, but they're usually quite long, so I'm just going to drag it along a bit and see how this sounds. So it kind of fades out this time. That's still kind of a bit vicious ending. So if I do this next time, yeah, that's a bit more fading out. So if I do it to there, maybe in line with where I am my voice, yeah, that sounds about right. So it starts fading off very, very quickly where my voice ends. And that sounds good. So then, as you saw me do there, I drag these orange markers, this orange marker here with the grey bar over to there, and I'll zoom in at the end just to make sure it's got it right there. And this is the render area, so this is all the stuff it will render. If you leave it like slightly in, like that, it'll just chop it and render from there, and it won't be proper intro. And if you leave it like that to there, it'll just render blackness, and you don't really want that. So if you drag that in, that'll render the entire area, and just make sure it's all lined up. And you go back to the beginning, and you can drag this again. There is a quicker way of this, which I'll show you in the learning the basics of the video, but I just like to drag them because it's easier. Actually, I'll show you it now. You can have it like this, all jumbled up, and then you can just double click on that and it stretches it out. It does get it right at the end, I think, but I usually just like to make sure just to see if it's got it. But yeah, it's all got it now. So then we're not done yet. There's a couple more things we need to do, and they are the lower thirds. So you probably noticed in my videos recently I've got these new things, these things here. Let's have a look. Them, which drop down, say Twitter, like or subscribe, and then they'll play along for a bit, and then they will go away off screen like that. And they were made in Adobe After Effects, which is a program made by Adobe as well. It's a video editing one, but it's mostly for making animations and intros and special effects really. So that's what I made them in. So I dragged them into my source window, and you saw earlier, if I just get the video on here, I usually have the Twitter one here, and like I was saying, you saw earlier audio 3 was -12, so I get the audio, drag it to audio 3, make sure it's lined up with that, and then I'll just zoom in, and that's not actually lined up because it's quite a small thing. You have to make sure they're in line. It does clip to it like that with the little clippy bar, but I always like to zoom in all the way to the start of it to make sure it's done, and I'll play it like this. Make sure that's all good. And that's set in the Pacific where, oh, okay, what was that? Zoom out again. and then I'll grab the like one, which I put around halfway into the video, around there somewhere. Just shove that on. It doesn't really matter where these go, and then once again I'll make sure it's all lined up like that, and yes it is, got the cursor in the exact right place as well, so that's lined up nicely. And then I'll get the subscribe button, which I sometimes put on, I sometimes don't, depending on if I think I need a little boost in subscribers, if I've not had any for the past days or so. Make sure that's lined up. We just wait. There it is, all lined up. But you can see, so sorry, I just finished what I was saying. I've got the lower thirds all on there. They're all lined up nicely, ready to be rendered with the video itself. But you can see here there's a yellow bar and there's also red parts. Now the red parts are where you've added effects to the video that aren't actual part of the main video. They're not running at 30 frames, although this one should be. I don't know why it has red bars, but I'll figure it out one day. But it's basically just it's showing you that these special effects haven't been rendered in yet. So to do that, you just make sure that your project markers are on the end and the start, and then you press enter on your keyboard and it will pre-render all of this. So what that does, if I cancel this quick, actually, you can see here, before I pre-rendered, when the lower third comes down, it starts lagging the game. So it's not actually the game lagging, it just looks like it on here, because it's trying to render this in along with that, and because that's not pre-rendered, it's a lot of work. We'll get around to soon. Play this just there. You can play it. So I'm still not amazing at the game, but yeah, once I know how to play it, really laggy. It doesn't look nice like halfway into the special effect. So then enter, that fixes it all for you. It pre-renders it, and it renders all the film dissolves, the dip to black there, film dissolve at the end, but it will only pre-render what you have in your orange markers. So you've got to make sure you get them right, and it will also render any images or any overlays you have on the video. So we'll let that render. I will cut the video here and see you when this is done. So see you in a second. And there we go. Hello everyone! Oh, it starts playing as well when you've pre-rendered. And it will take, the time it takes to render and pre-render depends on how fast your processor is, how much RAM you have, all that kind of stuff. So mine's quite quick compared to my old computer, actually a lot quicker compared to my old one. My old one was an AMD Athlon 2, it was a quad core, and this is an i7 3770K at 3.5 GHz, so it completely rips through these videos really fast, and it's definitely worth the money if you're thinking of getting a rendering machine. Go for an i7 for rendering, because they are completely beastly. But yeah, that's just a little side note. But anyway, after that's all pre-rendered, I just like to go to the end, make sure it's all synced up like that. Not synced up, sorry, the orange markers are capping it, just to make sure. You probably don't need to do that, but I'm quite protective over it, and I drag it back to the end, click off it all, press Ctrl S to save it, and then that's all done. That is the video complete. Sometimes there's more stuff involved in this, like overlays with text from Photoshop or here in the actual program itself, or After Effects, making new things, or a lot more cuts in the video. But this one, there's no need for cuts. And that was it. So now it's all done. You do Control M, or you can go up to there and do, I think it's window render or something like that, but I've always used shortcut keys. They're a lot easier. And here is where I will render it all. I will go over this again in the basics of Premiere Pro. So I have the H.264 format, that's basically renders it to MP4 so I can upload it to YouTube. And then I have my custom preset here, which seems to have changed itself. Oh yeah, that's because I changed my bitrate from 8 to 13 the other day, because my videos didn't look that good quality. So if I actually go and save this preset, I just need to do this. What's the other one called? It's YouTube HD, YouTube 720p HD, and I've got the 1080p preset as well. But if I save this one, so what's it called again? YouTube 720p HD. So I'll save this. YouTube YouTube 720p HD. There we go. Yes, overwrite that preset. So it's kept everything the same, because on the old preset I had 1280 by 720, 29.97 frames per second. But the bitrate, which is the quality of the video, I had on 8, and it didn't look that good on Minecraft videos, or all of them really. So I increased it to 13, it makes the file size a hell of a lot bigger, longer uploads, but it's worth it because it makes it better quality. And sometimes I'll do 1080p, but that does take a lot longer. That would probably add another 500 megabytes onto this file, so I'd have a 3 gig file, maybe 3.5 gigs. So yeah, I usually just keep it to this, and then I'll go to output name here, and I'll go to my documents, and then all rendered episodes folder, and I don't actually have any Red Orchestra 2 gameplays rendered already, so I'll do a new folder, call it Red, how do you spell orchestra? I forgot. Astra, and no, it's an E, isn't it? It's one of these words I've never been able to spell. Red Orchestra 2, and what's the DLC for Rising Storm? That's it, Rising Storm. That's some other videos I'll be doing soon. So go in here, and then I think, yeah, that is how you spell it. So if I just copy that, so I don't have to type it all again, and then this is where you save the video. So that's the folder to save it into, and now this is where you save it. So you just Control V that, get rid of the Rising Storm bit. Red Orchestra 2, go to the beginning, type in have a capital Jack plays, and then Red Orchestra 2. So that just looks nice, all capitals. You can see exactly what it is when you go into your folder. So I save that. It doesn't start rendering yet. To do that, you have to click the export button here, and that's everything ready to go really. That's how I make my videos, edited them like that for about a year now, but obviously I've picked up on new skills. But this is the basics of editing for my videos. But like I said, there's sometimes more things involved, depending on what video it is. And the audio settings I've got here are just preset ones that work fine for me. I think I might have set these myself actually. Yeah, I put high quality audio on and 4800 Hz, but that doesn't really matter. I'll cover it all once again in the basics of Premiere Pro. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Just so I thought I'd do it just so you can see what I do to make my videos, because some of you might have been wondering, and hopefully you might have learnt something from this. But if you haven't, that's fine. Maybe it just showed you what it's like for me making my videos, because that's what it's for really. And the other videos will hopefully teach you something about this actual software. So don't be worried if none of this makes sense, because it will do very soon in the coming days or weeks. Not weeks, sorry, in the coming week and few days. So yeah, that's all done. I can press export, but I'm not going to do that yet because I'm still recording, and both things are quite CPU intensive. So it's probably not a good idea to do that just yet, because it might overload my computer. Probably not, but I'll just wait until I finish recording. So yeah, that's it for today. I'll be doing another one on Adobe Photoshop down here. That will be coming in 2 days or so, and that will show you how I make my thumbnails for my videos. And of course I'll do another series on the basics of Photoshop. That's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. My name is Jack, or the Hog Gamer. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.